for this? Yeah.
Come on.
Boost the sound on that, Mel.
Come on.
Boost the sound on that, Mel. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Wednesday, April 27th, 2016, and welcome to the BCS Experience, History, Arts, Culture, and Politics in Review and Discussion. I'm Byron C. Saunders, your host with the most. The BCS Experience takes a look at our rich history, African American history. We're going to share with you some known and unknown historical facts and information from the past and connect the dots on how they have impacted on our present day events and how they will definitely shape our future as African Americans in this country and around the world. The BCS Experience, History, Arts, Culture, Politics in Review and Discussion. This is Internet Radio and will be aired live every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. from the studios of the Iron Metropolis Images on the GoPro Radio networks. You see, I'm really excited about this opportunity to talk to you all across the country and around the globe. I want you to tune in every week on your computer or your phone. And I want you to become a loyal listener. And I personally invite you to lend your voices to this radio talk show to express your opinions on my weekly topics. This is social network radio at its finest. Now here's the number for you to call in to be a part of tonight's discussion. Call 347-884-9839. Once again, that number to call is 347-884-9839. All right, this week's topic, oh my goodness gracious, independent films by African American film producers. Now, what does it take to produce quality stories for a deserving community and a nation as well as a global audience? Heavy question, because we got some amazing films out there right now. Anyway, my show is the new Underground Railroad Express. I'm making stops in your neighborhood. All aboard to freedom and to Freedom Land. Now, before we meet tonight's very interesting guest, a little bit of history, because I want you to know whose shoulders is she standing on. All right, the date. It's a Friday. It's January the 29th, 1954. That's right, January 29th, 1954. You see, Oprah Winfrey was born on this date in 1954. She's an African-American businesswoman, actress, multimedia entrepreneur, and television talk show host. From Cusco, Mississippi, Winfrey was raised by her grandmother on a farm where she began learning to read aloud and gave recitations at the age of 3. Now, between ages 6 to 13, she lived in Milwaukee with her mother. Suffering abuse, she ran away and was sent to Nashville to live under her father's firm discipline. Now, her father, Vernon Winfrey, gave her a midnight curfew and required her to read a book and write a book report each week. Tough love, as they call it. And she attended Tennessee State University and won the titles of Miss Black Nashville and Miss Black Tennessee while she was a freshman. Now, in 1971, she was the first African-American woman to anchor a newscast in Nashville. Winfrey then co-hosted a morning talk show, Baltimore is Talking, for 7 years, and in in 1984, came to Chicago to host AM Chicago, which became the Oprah Winfrey Show a year and a half later. Now, Winfrey heads Harpo Productions, her TV and film production studio, and hosts the Oprah Winfrey Show. She also received an Academy Award nomination as Best Supporting Actress in The Color Purple 1985. And as a global entertainer, she has carved out a new standard for media mogul and remains one of the most influential women in the world. Winfrey is a dedicated activist for children's rights, and in 1994, then President Clinton signed a bill into law that Winfrey had proposed to Congress, creating a nationwide database of convicted child abusers. She founded the Family for Better Lives Foundation and also contributes to her alma mater, Tennessee State University. Since 1992, Winfrey has been engaged to Stedman Graham, a public relations executive. The couple lives in Chicago, and Winfrey also has homes in Rolling Prairie, Indiana, Telluride, Colorado, Hawaii, and California. She contributed greatly to the publishing world by launching her Oprah's Book Club as part of her talk show. Now, the program pushed many known authors to the top of the bestseller list and gave pleasure reading a kind of popular importance. With the debut in 1999 of Oxygen Media, a company she co-founded that is dedicated to introducing and producing cable and internet programming for women, Winfrey ensured her place in the forefront of the media industry and as one of the most powerful and wealthy people in show business. Her magazine, O, the Oprah magazine, debuted in April 2000. She is one of the partners in Oxygen Media, Inc., a cable channel and interactive network presenting programming designed primarily for women. And also in 2000, Oprah's Angel Network began presenting a $100,000 Use Your Life Award to people who are using their lives to improve the lives of others. Now, when Forbes magazine published its list of America's billionaires for the year 2003, it disclosed that Oprah Winfrey was the first African American woman to become a billionaire. Wow, what a story. All that about Oprah, out of that one little show, developed into a billionaire, and look at what she's done to help to change the world. Well, I want to hear from you, so let's connect the dots and make sense out of it all. Let's talk. Call me, 347-884-9839. All right, tonight, I have a very special guest joining us. And joining us in the GoPro studio this evening, all the way from Avon, Ohio, is Mary Ann Loriant. She's a film producer, screenwriter, literary artist, and is my featured call-in guest as her new independent film, Toyed Emotions, has a world premiere opening in Cleveland, Ohio, tomorrow, Thursday, April 28th, 2016, and it's already to a sold-out audience. Wow. Now, this is the story on tonight's The BCS Experience. So let's talk, let's find out. And who is Mary Ann Loriant? Well, let me tell you a little bit about her. She was born in Brooklyn, New York, brought up in Miami, Florida. She was educated at Case Western Reserve University. Now, a writer, filmmaker, marketer, and film distributor, Mary Ann made her first featured film debut with the drama Rachel's Ninth Inning. That was in 2015, and based on a novel that she wrote, a story centered on domestic violence in professional sports. Now, she is the founder of Loriant Vision Production. She is the author of 2 books, Rachel's Ninth Inning and The Little Creole Pig. That's a children's book. Ms. Loriant is a graduate of Case Western Reserve University and lives in the greater Cleveland area. Now, she is devoted to charitable organizations that are geared towards helping those who have been affected by abuse, including the Domestic Violence Project and World in Action. She must be a protege of Oprah Winfrey. It's very clever how their lives are very similar. Well, in addition to writing, one of Mary Ann's lesser-known qualities is her quiet involvement in many charitable organizations. Now, although that's really no surprise for those who know her, have given her solid upbringing and her family's emphasis on the value of putting others first. And in a recent interview, Marianne noted supporting charities like the Domestic Violence Project in my community, giving back to Haiti, and World in Action is an advocate for sexually abused children. Is important to me because everyone is affected by these things one way or another, and I feel it's my duty to give back as much as I can. Marianne Loriant lives in Avon, Ohio with her family. Rachel's Ninth Inning is her first novel and her first produced feature film. So, Marianne, welcome to the BCS Experience.
Thank you, Byron. I'm glad to be here. It's an honor.
Well, indeed, it's an honor to be your friend as well. I've been checking you out and chasing your, I guess, your trajectory of you as a film producer. It's a wonderful story that you have individually. So tell me, how did you get into the film industry? Tell me a little bit about yourself, Marianne.
Well, actually, I started as a writer. Like you announced, I have one novel, which is Rachel's Ninth Inning, and a children's book.
Yes.
So what I did, I just took my work to the next level. And I made my first feature film last year, which was based on my novel, my very first novel, Rachel's Ninth Ending. So that's how I stumbled into the film world, which I'm loving every minute of it.
Now, lessons along the way that you've learned as a producer. I mean, your first time effort, and I'm just amazed that with all that you do and still having time to write, produce, and continue to move this forward. I mean, Marianne, is there a clone that you have? You must have a clone somewhere, because how do you do this? How do you manage this?
It's one Marianne. I'm actually a moonlight writer.
Yes.
I'm not like your traditional writer where they said, they have a certain block time during the day or morning. I write in the evening,
yes.
And sometimes when it comes, I just put it down. I move with the flow.
All right. Well, the muse is
storyteller.
Yes. Well, listen, we're going to take a look at your clip from Rachel's Ninth Inning. I want people to really get a sense of you as the film producer and the writer, because that was an unusual story. I had a chance to see it as it premiered here in New York to a wonderful applause and audience, and it played in several cities across the country. So let's take a look at that clip from Rachel's Ninth Inning. Roll that tape.
Sure.
Close your eyes and bow your heads. We're about to say grace.
Get off me!
You did call her, right?
Yeah, I got her voicemail. I left a message.
She probably got hit by Derek again. So what she wants if you ask me.
Sorry, they can't fix this. Not this time. If he hits you again, I'm gonna have to intervene.
Rachel! Rachel!
Wow. Rachel's Ninth Inning. Oh, my goodness. You don't take on soft subjects, do you, Marianne?
No.
I mean,
that's a topic I'm very passionate about,
Yes.
domestic abuse.
Yes.
So when we made our tour for Rachel, we showed her in 8 selective theater in 8 separate cities. When we made our tour, out of one of the theater, we did charitable towards domestic violence.
Yes,
And
yes.
we're doing the same thing with the film that is currently being released tomorrow as well.
Well, we're going to talk about that. I got to take a little bit of break here, and when we come back,
Okay.
I'll share with people some of the commentaries about Rachel's Ninth Inning, because that's a significant storyline about domestic violence in our country. So, my friends, don't go away. We'll be right back after these very important messages from GoPro Radio.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a great opportunity. If you have an event, product, service, talent, or something important to say, now is your chance. You can have your very own radio show. Whether you're just starting out or a veteran looking for a professional platform to enhance your presentation and following, the GoPro Radio Network is the premier place to cultivate and share new and exciting content. We can help you grow your audience and keep it growing long after your first broadcast. Now you have a voice. Call 212-696-8562 or visit www.goproradio.com, and you'll be amazed at how easy and affordable it is to have your very own professional radio show on the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head. You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Well, all right, we're back on the BCS Experience. Are you ready for this? Well, I know I am. We're talking to my very dear friend, Marianne Lorian. She's a film producer. We just got a chance to see a clip from Rachel's Ninth Inning, and if you missed it, it played in 8 different cities across the country. This was her first feature film as a producer, and she wrote the film as a screenwriter, adapted from her own book, Rachel's Ninth Inning. Now, Marianne, as a producer, tell me a little bit about the ins and out of producing. What does a producer do? What did you do to make this film?
A producer, the role of the producer is to see the project from beginning to end.
Okay.
I'm there at the writing process, building the story. I'm there in post-production. Post-production is you're contacting your casting agent, which gives you a body of actors for the job. The producer makes sure you bring on a director to direct the film. And all the crew that comes, cameraman, lighting, makeup, artists, wardrobe, everything. Now, in independent film, one person may do 2 jobs, wear more than one hat, but the producer's job is to see the life of the film from beginning to end. Once we're done filming, the actors, they usually move on to different project because they're actors, they're trying to further their career, so the producer's still working. We get to the edited phase with the editor. The editor plays a very, very important role also because he is taking the producer's vision and the director's vision, because it starts with the writer. The producer has a vision. The director who directs the actor, he's bringing his artistic vision as well. So then the editor who does the final cut, this person is also adding his artistic touch to the project as well. And then the producer, it's my job to see how is this going to be distributed. Are we going to show it one run and the city where it's filmed, or are you going to take it to different part of the country? Is it going to go on DVD? Are you going to try to pursue to put it on some cable outlet? So that's the producer's job. And then at the end, which when the premiere, when the film is on screen, the producer's there. You're there till that picture's on the screen, and your job is done. Like, okay, I have delivered the project. So the producer is like the mother of the project, pretty much, and finance it.
And not to mention, last but not least, finance it. It's your name on the checks that go out to pay for all of this. So in addition to doing everything else, you got to raise the do re mi. You get a chance to make sure. I mean, Do you have a cape on that says Superwoman or something like that?
No Superwoman. And to be honest,
Yes.
with the finance part,
Yes.
it came easy for me as a first-time producer because the novel,
Yes.
it's what paid for the film.
Okay.
So that kind of helped me where other producer, if they're not able to get an investor, it usually comes out of pocket, and it's expensive to make a film. Even if it's a low-budget film, it costs money to produce a film, to get it on the finished package.
Right.
So the book was able to do that, to provide the fund to make that film a reality. And then I'm kind of like spiraling. So from Rachel, with profit, so I made Toyed Emotion.
You rolled that
so,
in, yes.
Yeah.
So, but here's what they said. Here's what the writers. Here's what several important, influential news agencies and writers themselves said about your book. The truths that lie within these pages are emotionally gripping and paint the harsh reality of closet spousal abuse. Loriant gives readers a peek at what life is truly like behind closed doors and reveals that all that glitters ain't gold. Now, that was Clyde Anderson from CNN Weekend Newsroom contributor. I mean, that's
contributor,
not,
yeah.
Yes, I mean that's
Yeah.
heavyweight there, Marianne Loriant. And then if not,
now this is
yes.
from the novel.
This is from the novel.
Someone who purchased the book,
Yes.
and they go on Barnes and Noble and they give you your review.
All right.
And stuff. Yes.
But then you had
Clyde
a second
Anderson.
review that was not just from a contributor and someone who reviews books. Check this one out. Marianne Loriant has written a moving and telling story of a baseball princess' personal journey through a difficult marriage. This kind of book stays with you, making you think for days to follow on the issue of domestic violence and how it does not discriminate. Now, folks, the person who wrote that review was none other than Wycliffe Jean, musician, social activist. Wow.
He needs no introduction.
No,
Yes.
yes, no introduction. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, that was very
Marianne,
moving.
You are
I was
traveling
very
down.
humble
Yes.
when I got that review from him. Very humble.
You're walking in high cotton, as they say, darling. Okay.
I'm trying.
Congratulations to you on that success because, as you said, you rolled the profits from the book into your next film, which is Toyed Emotions. Now, let's take a look at this clip because this is a far different story from the Rachel's Ninth Inning. But let's take a look.
This is our new film.
This is the one that's opening tomorrow night to a sold-out theater.
28th.
That's right, in Cleveland, Ohio. So roll the tape on Toyed Emotions.
No. Do you remember how much I always told you that I wanted to have a little girl? And you told me no more children. It wasn't feasible to have 2 children.
I don't remember that.
Of course you don't. And you don't remember our only son.
Dad, don't toy with my emotions.
But yet you remember that black whore of a girlfriend of yours and her 3 children.
Now, I can explain that.
No. There is no explanation, Matthew.
You knew that Matthew was having an affair which produced 3 children and you never said anything to anyone?
30 years of lies, that's all we have. I want you out of the house tonight.
I'm not leaving. I'm sick, for God's sake. And besides, this is just as much my house as it is yours. Where the hell am I supposed to go?
You know what? You can go back to that black whore. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. I don't want you in this house one more night. If you do, I'm fully prepared to pay the consequences of my actions.
Son of a...
Whoa.
What the hell? I'm leaving. I'm going to forget about this anyway.
Oh, my goodness. Toyed Emotions. Oh, Marianne Loriant.
Toyed Emotions.
You jump in a pool of raw emotions. Racism is implied. What else? Tell me the story of Toyed Emotions.
But the story of Toy Emotion is 2 very loving couple.
Yes.
He's a very wealthy CEO. He's very influential in his community. He built his company from the ground up, and they have one child. But she always had the desire to have more.
Yes.
And he felt that, they're building, they're growing, one child was sufficient.
Yes.
And she was, obedient toward her husband, and she accepted his desires as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he struck with early on Alzheimer's. At a very young age. He's only 55. You can get it as early as 40.
Yes.
It's, people, when they think of Alzheimer's, there's different form of Alzheimer's. The one he has is genetic.
Mm-hmm.
So his doctor said he needs to put his affairs in order because by this time next year he won't even remember his own name.
Wow.
So he's putting everything in order,
Yes.
and then secret emerged.
Ooh.
So it comes to light that he had this secret affair with this woman for 30 years, which produced 3 children, and this woman is African American.
Oh my God.
And his wife just went livid.
Oh
like,
my
oh
God.
my God. Like, so when you look at the story,
Yes.
the audience is to rattle the audience.
Yes.
Which is it? Is she angry the fact that he's really having this affair, or the fact that he's having this affair with this African American? And what is it that this woman was providing for him, where it lead him to have 3 children in a relationship and held on to this relationship for 30 years. So, and when you look at the storyline, everyone who's attached to Matthew Dexter,
Yes.
which is our lead,
Yes.
everyone who's attached to him, their emotions are all over the place. His son now has to get tested. His 3 children with his mistress has to get tested. So everyone who's attached to him
Yes.
are like their emotions on a roller coaster.
Wow.
It was an amazing cast. I really enjoyed doing this one. Was a really delight, to be honest with you.
I'm still just floored by the storyline itself. Now, I mean, this is like you could have called this movie "Raw Emotions" to degree, because I can only imagine the actual impact of learning this on a human level, and that's what makes.
And it's real
yes,
life.
It's
real life,
folks.
I remember the first time I saw the cut,
Yes.
and I even touched base with our director, our amazing director, David L. Walker. I'm
Yes.
like, do you think the language will be jolting for audience? And his response, it's real life. We're giving real life. Someone who's having an affair, this isn't a fairy tale.
Yes.
And this is 2 loving people who are in their home, and then she's human. She's a woman. And regardless the ethnicity of the mistress,
Yes.
She would have latched on to whoever the mistress was, because a woman's heart is as deep as the ocean. So she's scorned, she's hurt, she's devastated. Like, how could you do this?
Yes.
30 years, I've been nothing but a loving, supporting wife. We've built this together, and all along your heart was somewhere else,
Wow.
in another woman's hand. So, yeah, very gripping.
Now, if that's not enough of a storyline to get you to go see something like this, I mean, to tell you, I don't know what else you're waiting on, folks. Oh, and I got to take a break here, but when we come back, I've got some more probing questions for Marianne Laurent, the producer, writer of this amazing movie, Torrid Emotions. So don't go away, folks. I know y'all want to find out more about this story as we travel down this road on the GoPro Radio Network. I'll be right back.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head. What if you can have an entire team of skilled professionals to help your business grow? Admin, accounts, marketing, and more, but only pay for the exact amount of support you need at virtually the same cost you'd pay for one full-time employee. With Virtual Professions, you can. One contact, one number gets you a team of virtual professionals for exactly what your business needs. It's 1-888-315-VPRO. That's 1-888-315-8776. Or online at www.virtualprofessions.net. Virtual Professions Incorporated, because you mean business.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Are you ready for this?
All right, already. Are you ready for this? I don't know, folks. We're talking about some seriously deep stuff here today on the BCS Experience. I've got my very good friend, filmmaker, producer, screenwriter, Marianne Loriant, whose film Toyed Emotions is opening tomorrow to a sold-out audience in Cleveland, Ohio. And folks, the topic on this one, my goodness, Marianne has written an impactful, very profound, deep storyline engaging emotions from several different lifestyles, families. It deals with race, Alzheimer's. It deals with the impact of a discovery of a secret in a family. And I know this audience tomorrow, Marianne, I hope you've got some nurses on the side as they, but you are a nurse, so wait a minute, hold on. They're going to be there. Is there that's right. Is there a doctor in the house? Oh, they're going to need one. Well, Marianne, you just told us tell us your director's name again. What's his name?
Our director is David L. Walker.
Okay.
He is based out of Orange, Ohio.
Okay.
And this is his fifth film, which he's directed.
Yes.
He's a fun, very creative person. He got along very well with the crew. He has a way of bringing out the best out of the actors. He does his own films. He directs. He's a producer. He does cinematographer. He wears many hats. Very gifted individual, and it was an honor working with him. Truly enjoy the interaction with David. A producer and a director, it's like a marriage.
Yes.
The film is your child, and you're both nurturing the child. The director is in very close contact with the actor. He brings, the actors, they put their touch on the character, but the director, his job is to bring that character to life through the actor, and the director works very close with the producer to understand the producer's vision, and then he puts his own stamp. So you have different creative people, and then the end product, you're seeing everyone who put their stamp on the project, from the director to the producer to the editor as well.
Well, how did you find your director? I mean, this is one of the efforts that you as a producer have to do.
I went to one of his screenings, which was called, I'm nervous now, I'm having a mental block, No More Ugly Jessica, and I was impressed with his work.
Yes.
We had a couple of meetings, and then we agreed to collaborate. I told him, why don't you come on board and direct this script, which I wrote with Rachel's Ninth Ending, and he liked the story, and he came on board. So we actually we're going to film something totally different, and then we went with Toyed Emotion, and it worked out beautifully.
Well, that's a good way to find a relationship that works for both you. It's a win-win for both you as producer and he as the director.
Situation.
Exactly. Now, tell me about some of the stars in your movie. Let's give them some props as well.
Okay, we have 3 leads.
Yes.
We have Terry Bourgeois, we have Ed Schultz, and we have Melissa Torrance. Those 3 are the lead. Melissa's the mistress, Terry is the wife, and Ed is the CEO, Dexter. He's the husband. All 3 of them were amazing. Melissa did an outstanding job. She's a local Cleveland actress. She's taken this community by storm. And Terry, she's more into modeling. This is her, she's making her debut into acting. She did a phenomenal job. It was mind-blowing. We're all like, wow, she blew everyone. She was just amazing. And then Ed, he's been acting for a very, very long time. He's originally from England, but grew up here in Ohio.
These are all local talents.
He does play, and he does theatrical acting and film acting as
Excellent.
well. So we have a lot of beautiful local talent. The cast was totally amazing.
Yes.
Our director was Portia Robinson. She was the one who was our casting director for this project. She did an amazing job as well.
And tell me about some of the other talent in the show, because I got a picture of the cast in their T-shirts.
Yes. We have a lot of. I'm gonna go by first name.
Sure, that's okay.
So we never forget. We have Jennifer. She is Terry's sister in the film.
Yes.
We have Mark, who's Jennifer's husband. We have Max, who is her son. We have Jason, who is Terry, who's Gwen, the actress, and the CEO's son. We have Shabab, and we have Olivia. They are nieces of Melissa Harris, who plays the mistress.
Yes.
And then her children. We have Michael. We have... I'm getting a mental block. There's 2 other daughters.
Okay.
I'll come
Take
back
your
to
time.
them. I'm nervous. I apologize.
It's okay.
Altogether, we had 15 cast members.
Wow. Nice.
So I know them by character name.
Yes.
So, I apologize. But we had, everyone did an amazing job.
Now, did you have an open audition for this?
Yes, we had an open call for audition. We had 75 people which showed up for casting,
Nice. Okay.
and out of the 75, we selected 15 individuals.
Okay. Now,
Which I'm very happy with. Everyone was great, but those 15 we felt would have brought the character we had on paper to life.
excellent.
So during the casting process, it was myself, the director, and then the casting agent, during the selection process.
Right. Now, where will this movie be shown after tomorrow? And give me some dates. Because obviously tomorrow's show is sold out, so they're going to have to wait.
Yeah,
Folks, you're going to have to
tomorrow
wait.
we're showing it at Mayfield. That's on the 20th. That's our premiere.
Yes.
And then on Saturday, April the 30th, we're showing at Elyria at Midway Mall, Elyria, Ohio.
Okay.
And then we have a run in New York for July, and then we have a run in Miami for June. Now, this is a much smaller run than for Rachel. Rachel, we had a distribution that picked us up, and they gave me 8 selective cities.
Okay.
Where this one, they liked the storyline, but they were just like, for the moment, we don't feel like we want to push it. So, again, that's where the producer stepped in. If you're not having that backing as a producer, you take the initiative. So I four-walled it. So we're having 2 showing here home, and then we're having 1 in New York, 1 in Miami. The reason I selected Miami and New York because I have strong bases there. For Rachel's Ninth Inning, we had a beautiful showing. We've kind of have a base fan. The book did well when we did a book signing.
Okay.
We did our book signing. It was a African-owned book in Harlem. They're closed now. I can't recall the name, but it's very popular.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about.
Do you remember the name? I'm sorry. It's in Harlem. It's a very, very famous African-American. They have very renowned authors that come.
Right.
Did you get the name? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was right. In fact, Human Bookstore, which was right next door to the
Human Bookstore.
It was right next door to
we have in New York. Yes.
Film the movie theater. The basketball player, what's his name? Magic Irvin.
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson's movie theater in Harlem. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So when we had our book signing there, we had a very beautiful turnout.
Good.
So we have, from the novel, there's a New York fan base, which spilled into the movie. So the fact that I have the fan base, they already are familiar with my work, so we thought that Toy Motion would do well there. In Miami as well, I have a strong fan base there. So I went with cities that we could conquer. And Iowa is somewhere we're going to show. We just don't have a definite date as of yet. But Iowa, we did well with Rachel. That was also one of the places where we had a sold-out show.
Excellent.
So I'm targeting where we're strong.
Well, I can tell you, folks, when she comes to New York, She was at AMC 25 Theater, right down on 42nd and Broadway. We're not talking about.
That was
We're not talking about.
intoxicating.
That's right. That's not talking about a small theater house, folks. This is an independent filmmaker from Avon, Ohio, who came and conquered New York and Broadway. Oh my goodness! On her first effort.
I don't know if I conquered,
Well,
but
yes,
it
you
was
did.
really an intoxicating moment. It was really
magical.
beautiful. We enjoyed the New York viewing.
That's right. So when you come
and
back,
we also I'm sorry, guys.
I was just saying.
No, I was going to tell everyone
Yes.
who's listening that Toward Emotion has a fan page.
Yes.
So if you go to Facebook, if you're connected, you just put the name Toward Emotion, you connect with us. We post everything, so you'll be able to follow the life of the film as well.
Well, good.
And get bios on all the actors because
Exactly.
we give their name.
Yes.
You could see what they're doing, and then you could see our director. You just get a little bit more history on the production.
Now, Marianne, what
Yes.
were your personal joys of being a screenwriter and a producer? You've done 2 films now. One is about to hit the boards tomorrow. And I mean, this is the day before, so I know how excited you are. I had a show open last night here in New York at a festival, and my guests were on last week. And I got to tell you, the adrenaline was flowing so fast and so hard and furious, But I know I can feel your own excitement being on this show. That's why I wanted to get you on. I wanted to preempt all the other big name news vendors before they find you. I can say, you know what? I found her first. Anyway. But
Well,
Marianne, tell me, what your
the fact
joy?
that I've done it before,
Yes.
today it's like a down day for me.
Yes.
What I've opted to do today is just to really take it very slow. I had a full breakfast, just kind of reflect, because tomorrow is going to be such a fast pace. My day won't end probably till midnight tomorrow.
And then some.
It'll start at 6 and it probably won't end till midnight. So today is like a really take it easy day and just be prepared for tomorrow. Because a premiere date is very stressful when you're an independent producer. My cell phone last year, to be honest with you, the day of the premiere did not even stop ringing. You had the theater that are calling last minute. They're checking. We usually throw an after party. You have the catering, the party. They're calling, here's everything, And yes, some of the actors, they have little questions.
Oh, totally.
You're on high that entire day. So I opt to just take it easy today. And I thought that would have been wise to just regroup for tomorrow.
Well, I have some advice for you. I've been doing this for 40-some years, and I can tell you, you're absolutely right. That day before, you're doing it the right way. You're pacing yourself. You're really going into your own, you're really finding that place where you find peace and joy and silence. Because tomorrow's is one of those deafening type of days where paparazzi will be flying. That's what following you. Put your sunglasses on, Marianne. Walk the red. Oh yes, you will. Walk the red.
That's the goal for one day.
Walk the red carpet for sure. Be a star tomorrow because your star is shining bright. You are leading the way. There is something about the new breed of African-American filmmaker, both men and women, who are out there telling the story. Marianne, you stand on Oprah Winfrey's shoulders, and I wanted you to hear.
Shoulder.
That's right, but I wanted you to hear her story, because in her story there is a piece that you have unwittingly are a part of that, and that's the connection. We connect the dots here on my show, connecting the dots of our historic heroes and sheroes, how you succeeded so that you will be mentoring and give your success story to the ones who are paying attention and watching the success of Marianne Laureat. So it's an enjoyable journey.
But what I would like to say, Byron, quickly to all the viewers you have or listener, independent work. People have a tendency to shy away from it. I invite everyone to embrace independent film because it's like a diet. You need your potato. The Hollywood, the Avatar, the Star Wars, they're all good too. Yeah. But independent work, those are a different voice. You're seeing cinema in a different way. Embrace it. It's like having a diet. You need the potato, you need the meat, you need dessert, so you bring it and you balance it out. And then with independent work, you will see local actors that are truly amazing that just haven't been discovered yet.
That's right.
And then the film, the director, you'll see the touch they put on the film. The writer, you'll see like, wow, this was truly a beautiful story. Yes, it wasn't distributed by a big house in Hollywood, but at the same time, I enjoy the storyline. I enjoy the movie. I would love to own the DVD. So for independent work, it's by word of mouth, it's grassroots. So when you see someone is putting something out there, when you support, you give that producer more power to produce more, to make better quality film.
That's right. I got to take a break here, Marianne, and when we come back, we'll close out this segment. I got a couple of more questions for you as we celebrate you today and what you will accomplish tomorrow. Folks, you're listening to the BCS Experience on the GoPro Radio Network. We'll be right back after these very important messages.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
We are an amazing people. Rooted in Africa, the cradle of human civilization. Descendant of the awesome men and women who made a way out of no way. People steeped in the values of truth, justice, respect, harmony, balance, reciprocity, and order. But 400 years of enslavement, Jim Crow, and racism, fueled by the lie of black inferiority, have taken their toll. The result? Too much pain, too much hurt, too much loss. We owe our ancestors, ourselves, and our children so much more than this. Join the movement for emotional emancipation, healing, and wellness for Black people. Go to communityhealingnet.org and take the pledge to defy the lie and embrace the truth. That's communityhealingnet.org. Our children and our ancestors are waiting.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Well, all right, already. We're back on the BCS Experience, and I'm so ready for this. We're talking to Marianne Laureate, my good friend in Avon, Ohio. She's a film producer, screenwriter, literary artist, and is my featured call-in guest. And so we're talking about her world premiere movie tomorrow, Toyed Emotions. Opening in Cleveland, sold-out audience already, and Marianne, we salute you and congratulations. I know it's going to be a hit. Now, Marianne, who are some of your favorite film producers and your favorite films? Tell me what influenced you.
Ava DuVernay, she's fairly new, but I've been following her work before, like she was being splattered all over magazines.
Yes.
I think her work is amazing. She's a fresh voice. Her style is she entertains, but when you look at her film, there's a message in her film, and that's the kind of formula that I kind of want to follow, to entertain, but also to make an impact with my work. Because with Rachel's Nice Ending, it's on domestic violence. Part of my proceed, I contribute to the domestic violence organization. Now, for Saturday the 30th in Elyria, we are contributing 50 seats are going towards the Avon chapter. We're give because I live in the city of Avon, so I'm contributing back to a cause for dementia, because I have an aunt that's been affected by this disease. So it touched close to home, and it means something to me. And the African American people know very little about it. So any little bit I can do to help, I feel that's my contribution to society.
Films with a purpose. That's what we all should have, Marianne. Stop making films that have nothing to do with nothing, and absolutely create stories and films that touch on the human experience and give us solutions to some of the problems that we have in our community. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village to maintain the village. Marianne Loriot is creating the opportunity for that village to be self-sustained and protecting its community itself. Marianne, in addition to being a film producer, a writer, you got something on the boards coming up next? You're cranking them out here.
Yes, we have. I have 2 films coming out next year that I'll be filming during the summer. The first one is called Crossing. I'm very excited about that. And the second one is going to be a faith-based, and it's called Transformation Through the Storm. We're still playing with that name, but I'm really touched by that name.
Well, if
you're also, I don't know if you have time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you going to take any callers in?
Mel, do we have any callers?
Because I'm getting like a lot of texts. We have a lot of callers on the line.
If we have any callers in, Mel, bring them on in. If there's anybody on the line.
We have David Walker.
Hello.
Our director is on the line.
David? Hello, David Walker?
Yes.
Welcome to the BCS Experience, David. Congratulations. Now, David, you're no stranger to creating and making films. So my question for you tomorrow, put your sunglasses on. Are you ready for the big hit?
No. Yeah.
Of course you are.
To be honest, I don't crave the limelight. I just love to work. You know. You always embrace the process, never the outcome.
Okay.
So, my favorite part is really just working with the actors and working with Marianne. That's what I love the most. That's the one thing I wouldn't give up, not even for the applause. That's just wonderful to me.
Well, David, I know that based on what I've seen in the trailer, your work is exemplary. And I'm going to say congratulations to you now, because I am sure once your audience really receives the impact of this amazing story, there will be a buzz leaving that theater tomorrow, and it's going to keep rolling. It's like the snowball rolling down the hill. So y'all get ready, because this story, I saw Rachel's Ninth Inning, and I'm telling you, I liked it, but when I saw the trailer for Toy Emotions, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be huge. Oh yes.
Yeah.
So, congratulations.
One thing that,
I don't know if you have time, Byron. We also have one of our lead on the line, Terry.
Hello. Welcome to the BCS.
Hello.
Well, there you are. Welcome to the BCS Experience. Now, I've got about 6-7 minutes left. Tell us your name. Who are you?
I am Terry Bisgrove. I play the role of Gwen Dexter.
Yes.
And I couldn't have been happier or blessed to have worked with Marianne and David. They're amazing people.
And this is your first film, yes?
Yes, and especially to be honored to be a lead role was fantastic.
Wow.
After doing all this, it just felt like family. It's like I miss David because I don't see him much anymore. And I miss Marianne because I don't see her a whole lot anymore. It's crazy, but you feel like family after you do this a little bit.
Absolutely. Now, as they say, a star is born. And given the opportunity,
she did an amazing job.
So, ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is afterwards, enjoy the moment. It's a brief explosion of success and appreciation, and the story is very profound. And for you guys to pull this off and touch the lives, I'm sure, of everyone who has been affected by Alzheimer's, racism, just family. Please, make sure that you know that those who appreciate this will love you and continue to love you, and best wishes for more success. So,
Byron, I know you're short on time,
yes?
but I want to thank there's like 16 people that want to come in, but we don't have time. But I want to thank all of them for calling in because my phone is like blowing up with texts. I'm on the line. I'm on the line.
Well, listen, I will
all
send to
16
you,
of them that are on the
Marianne. I will send to you the link so that you can have a replay of this. Because it immediately
I'll
we go to
post on our
archive,
page, yes.
and definitely, and folks, enjoy tomorrow's grand opening world premiere. It's your time to shine. And congratulations to you, Marianne Laureate. And folks, on my listening audience, I got to tell you, Marianne Laureate is the new Harriet Tubman. My show is really about the new Underground Railroad Express. And it's this week. This is my next section, which is called the BCS Experience Blog News Snaps. Well, this week, something extraordinary happened. Washington abolitionist Harriet Tubman's image will appear on a new series of $20 bills, becoming the first African American to appear on U.S. paper currency and the first woman in more than a century. The Treasury Department announced on Wednesday. And to replace President Andrew Jackson on the front of the $20 bill, the Treasury Department abandoned a previous plan to have a woman replace founding father Alexander Hamilton on the $10 bill. Ladies and gentlemen, given America's struggle to let go of its peculiar institutions of slavery and hatred, bigotry and racism, this is a giant step toward reconciling a very ugly past that is still playing out its ugliness all across the nation. I don't have to call out the names. You see where it's happening. Presidential election, there's some wounds that are extremely raw. Torrid emotions, as Marianne Laureate calls it. White people in America refuse to remove the symbols of hatred, bigotry, and racism from this country's embedded infrastructure, as if to make sure that they keep it all of that alive for perpetuity. Folks, African American history, get ready to collect your Harriet Tubman $20 Freedom Dollars as they journey along the Underground Railroad Express on the way to freedom and to Freedom Land. And enjoy this brief little spot about the $20 experience. And Marianne Laureate, you stand on the shoulders of some amazing, powerful women. Oprah Winfrey, Harriet Tubman, and now the name Marianne Laureate will be remembered for Torrid Emotions, Rachel's Ninth, and oh my God, there's more on the way from this amazing, amazing woman.
2017.
That's right.
Yeah, thank
you. Enjoy this Harriet Tubman piece and really embellish what's about to happen in our country. And folks, thank you so much for being on the BCS Experience. Wow. The BCS Experience is GoProRadio.com, your social network's live talk show, produced and sponsored by Iron Metropolis Images. Thank you so very much to my producer, Tylon Eusebier Washington, Mel Alsop, my on-air engineer, interns, Khadijah, Charlene, and Alex, and a very special thank you to Mike Sargent and the Jazz Lounge Project and Andrew Julian Myers for my fabulous show's theme music. Folks, we just I've run out of time here. Hey, I'm Byron C. Saunders, and it's been all about the BCS Experience. Join me next Wednesday when my very special guest will be you, my listening audience, with another opportunity to appreciate our rich cultural history
10
and
seconds.
learn how it impacts on our lives today. Until then, I'm out of here. Well, for the moment. Peace and love always.
It's 6 o'clock.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.